An overbearing neighborhood Karen marched straight into my backyard uninvited on the 4th of July, screaming that my tiny charcoal grill was polluting the air and that our sparklers were a terrorist threat to her roof. When we told her to get off our property, she tried to weaponize the police, and it backfired so spectacularly it ruined her entire life in our community. Get comfortable because I'm giving you the entire massive saga from start to finish, with absolutely zero cliffhangers. To set the scene, my husband and I host a small, completely standard backyard barbecue every single year for the 4th of July. We have some family over, we grill up some burgers, the kids play in the yard, and when it gets dark, we let them light a few basic, legal sparklers. It's the most low-key, normal holiday celebration you can imagine. But this year, we had a new resident down the street. Let's call her Linda. Linda didn't even live next door to us. She lived about 6 houses down on the opposite side of the street. But from the moment she moved in, she made it her personal mission to be the self-appointed dictator of the neighborhood. She was constantly posting on the community Facebook page, complaining about people mowing their lawns too early or cars being parked on the street for more than an hour. Around 5 p.m. on July 4th, my husband was standing by our small charcoal grill flipping burgers. Suddenly, our side gate clicks open, we look over, and Linda marches right into our backyard. No knock, no invitation, just pure, unadulterated audacity. Before we can even say, "Can we help you?" Linda starts coughing aggressively, completely fake, Oscar-worthy coughing, and points her finger at my husband. She screams, "This smoke is an absolute biohazard. The toxic fumes from your cheap charcoal are drifting down the street and polluting the air inside my home. You need to put this fire out right now." My husband just stood there holding his spatula, completely stunned. I stepped in and said, "Linda, are you standing on private property uninvited? We're cooking dinner for our family on a legal grill. If you don't like the smell of a barbecue on the 4th of July, I suggest you close your windows. Now please leave our yard." Linda's face turned bright red. She looked at the box of legal, kid-friendly sparklers sitting on our patio table and literally shrieked, "And those! Those are an absolute fire hazard! Are you basically launching a terrorist threat against the roofs of this entire neighborhood? If you don't extinguish that grill and pack those up, I'm calling the authorities." We told her one final time to get off our property before we called the cops on her for trespassing. She gave us the ultimate death stare, huffed, and marched out the gate. Slamming it behind her, we thought that was the end of it, but boy, were we wrong. About 45 minutes later, we're sitting on the patio eating our burgers when suddenly an entire front of our house light up with flashing red and blue lights. We hear heavy footsteps running up the driveway, and suddenly 3 fully geared out firefighters and 2 police officers blast through our side gate. They were holding axes and fire suppression gear, looking like they were ready to storm a burning building. The lead officer yells, "Where's the uncontainable bonfire?" We all just sat there holding our paper plates. My husband pointed to the tiny, completely closed charcoal grill and said, "Officer, we're just eating hot dogs." It turned out Linda had walked back to her house, dialed 911, and lied through her teeth. She told the dispatcher that our house was hosting an illegal, out-of-control bonfire, that flames were shooting 20 feet in the air, and the fireworks were being launched directly at neighboring structures. Because she reported a massive, active neighborhood fire threat, the city had to dispatch a full emergency response team. When the firefighters realized that the uncontained inferno was literally just some glowing coals inside a safe, legal Weber grill, the tension instantly evaporated. But they weren't laughing. They were absolutely furious. Not at us, but at whoever made the call. The fire captain asked who lived down the street, and my husband explained the entire interaction we had with Linda less than an hour ago. The captain shook his head and said, "Falsely reporting a structural fire threat wastes life-saving resources and put actual emergencies at risk." To show us there's no hard feelings, the firefighters actually stayed for a few minutes, chatted with our family, and handed out cool little firefighter stickers to the kids. They told us to enjoy our holiday, and then the police officers and fire crew marched right down the street straight to Linda's house. We all walked out to our front porch to watch. You could see the flashing lights parked in front of Linda's driveway. The officers stood on their porch while what felt like an hour, lecturing her so loudly you could hear the echo down the block. Here is where the tea gets absolutely delicious. My husband and I have a high-definition Ring camera on our side gate and our front porch. It captured every single second of Linda trespassing onto our yard, screaming about the grill, and explicitly threatening to fake a call to the authorities if we didn't comply. The next morning, the police department followed up with us and we handed over the crystal clear video footage. Because she had intentionally fabricated a life-threatening emergency to our dispatcher, Linda was officially slapped with a massive criminal citation for filing a false police report and misusing the 911 system, which came with a hefty 4-figure fine. But the social destruction was even better. I took the clip of her trespassing in our yard and acting completely unhinged, and I posted it directly to our local neighborhood Facebook group with this caption: "Just a heads up to anybody grilling today, watch out for the local fire marshal." The post completely blew up. Hundreds of neighbors commented absolutely roasting her for her behavior and sharing their own stories of her being a menace. She became the absolute laughingstock of the community. She was so thoroughly embarrassed and ostracized that she deleted her Facebook account within 48 hours, and for the last year, she won't even look our direction when she drives past the house. Protect your peace, enjoy your burgers, and remember that karma always catches up to a Karen. And that's the whole beautiful tea. If you like this story, check out my channel for all the other stories that I have. Follow along, because I am Mish and I read the tea.